धन्यवाद, आपने हमें समय दिया। धन्यवाद।
माननीय सदस्य श्री अनिल देसाई जी।
Thank you, Chairman sir. Sir, Honorable Home Minister Shri Amit Shah ji has introduced Immigration and Foreigners Bill 2025 in the House, and same is being discussed and debated. Sir, aim of this bill is to strengthen and streamline immigration and foreigners related laws. So about the Immigration and Foreigners Bill 2025, the bill repeals the earlier acts. There were 4 acts which were having this kind of arrangement of foreigners and Immigration Act, and 3 acts out of them were pre-independence and 1 carrier's liability which was introduced in the year 2000. These 4 acts, they had provisions which were overlapping, and to streamline and make it a very simplified version of the legislation, this act has been brought. The key provisions of this immigration and foreign bills are, of course, it is national security measures are there. The bill prioritizes national security and sovereignty, barring entry or residence for any foreigner posing a threat to India's integrity. We welcome that. Immigration officers will have the authority to arrest suspects without a warrant if they are believed to be violating immigration laws. Now, Clause 3, which gives powers to the immigration officer, which are unbridled powers, if you go to see, in that some kind of equilibrium be maintained, because this may affect, if it goes one-sided or lopsided, if it is observed, it may affect the bilateral ties with the foreign countries. I hope the Honorable Minister would take care of that. Immigration officers, they have the authority, and with that, an officer or a person of head constable level, he's been also given the power to meet this kind of eventualities, and this, of course, needs to be revisited, or review should be taken, or the wider opinions should be conducted to how to go about it. Additionally, all foreigners must register upon their arrival, movements, name changes, and access restricted areas will be monitored. That is, of course, that is needed, which is being introduced in the bill. The basic thing is the stricter entry and stay regulations. All foreigners must have their valid passport. Of course, without that, without this document, there is no question that anyone would enter. But things do happen. We have seen that duplicate passports and malafide intentions of the visitors who come with some ulterior motives, and how that damages to the nation, that we have seen in the past and in the present also. In future, we need to correct that, and that is why the legislation is. Educational institutions, establishment, hospitals, and carriers, airline transport operators, they have a responsibility which has been highlighted in this legislation, which we welcome. But at the same time, that equilibrium should be maintained, that balance should be maintained, where the things would go as far as our foreign ties are concerned. So severe penalties for violations are also introduced, which I think should be revisited, because the penalties and the penalties for violations which are there, much stricter penalties and for violations are in the countries like United States, Singapore for that matter. Australia is also having that kind of thing, Hong Kong. I think that should be followed, because this kind of playing with the rules and regulations of the country as far as immigration is concerned, so serious in nature. And I think the Home Minister may think over it, ponder over it, and enlighten the House, how they have gone about it. Sir, foreigners holding dual citizenship will be recognized as citizens of the country whose passport they use to enter India. The intention of the bill may be to prevent illegal entry and stay in our country. For the last so many years, central government blaming, this has happened, that central government has always blamed some states also, that where infiltrations take place, where illegal migrants, they come in India, they stay, not only stay, but they have their malified intentions, and they carry out kind of activities which are detrimental to the health of the country. My serious this thing is, along with this bill, I mean, when our borders are open, like, I mean, Myanmar is there, Bangladesh is there, from where we see that entries of Rohingyas, entries of people who have been making illegal stay in India, and that has been going, and despite that, they are able to get ration card, they are able to get Aadhaar card, and then, I mean, at one fine day, we see that those who are implicated, or those who are nabbed or apprehended by the law enforcing agencies for doing wrongful acts, in that point of time, we come to know they are not the nationals of India. So these are the things where the stricter arrangement should be there in the law. And more than that, these borders, along with this, I mean, this may not be the part of this legislation, but Home Minister, I would request, or I would urge that first and foremost thing, that to seal our borders with the neighbors, that is what will really curtail this problem what we are facing. And whatever students they come from outside, like United States or United Kingdom, I mean, things should be little easy for them, because they also share, or they also blend themselves with our culture, which enhances the image of our country globally. Sir, last but not the least, that the paramilitary forces, central government has also deployed paramilitary forces like BSF, ITBP, SSB as second line, and additional armed forces on the borders. I mean, what activity is being carried out on the borders, which is by the day increasing and which is detrimental to us? I mean, that should be looked into, and some provision be made in this law also to see that these things are still, and a very robust mechanism is in place as far as immigration.
Thank you, Honourable Member.
And foreigners.
Honourable Member Sri Srirang Pavarni.